Hello, and welcome once again to the Homewrecker Podcast. I am the Golden Greek, Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, Monique. Monique, how are you this week?
Hello, I am lovely, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic as always, and
Excellent.
I'm excited about today's episode because last time we talked about some pretty heavy stuff.
Yes.
And so it was probably a good idea to maybe change it up and try to get back to having just a little bit of fun.
Yeah, lighten up the mood a little bit.
Yeah, lighten up. Exactly. So this week, what are we talking about?
Our favorite 90's movies.
Yes, we did the 80s before. I think we did two parts.
Yes.
Two shows on the 80s.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be working on the 90s.
Yes.
So, how do you want to do this?
I think we should do like we did last time and just start from like 1990 and work our way through to 1999.
I figured that, yes. What I meant to say was, I guess, as I just stumble all over my words here, you'd think this is my first time podcasting or something. Would you like to start us off, is really what I meant to say. Because we'll alternate years, so why don't you start us off with 1990, you give us your movies, and then I'll check off any that we have duplicates of, because we have not looked at each other's lists.
No, we have not.
And are these are our favorite movies? Just
Yes.
movies we've seen?
These are our favorites. These are the movies we love, because I have 2 pages of movies, and that was me wanting to add so much more. Oh, that's an awesome movie, but it's not the awesome movies of the 90s, it's our favorite movies of the 90s. So that's how, so there's a lot of stuff I wanted to include just because I think they're great, but I didn't because I couldn't say with all my heart it's one of my favorites.
All right.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And I do have different levels of favorites. It's like my super duper tippity top favorites, and then like kind of going down to like, yeah, they're still my favorites. I love them.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. So go ahead and start us off.
Well, this first movie from 1990 is one of my tippity top favorites, and I love all the sequels after as well. Talking about Tremors. Yes, Kevin Bacon, 1990 with the Graboids. The dude from Big Trouble in Little China.
You're all about the Tremors.
I love the Tremors movies. They're awesome.
Mm-hmm. I had that on my list too.
Because it's a great movie.
That's a lot of fun.
Yes,
I agree. It's a lot of fun.
I think it was over the past year or two I got to watch all of the Tremors movies.
Yeah, you like marathoned them, and I'm just like, yeah, go nuts.
All of them.
All set.
It was awesome.
You have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and my favorite character from Tremors is actually, I didn't realize when I first watched Tremors he was the dad from Family Ties.
Michael Gross?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was Mr. Keaton.
Yeah.
I just knew he was awesome, and I wanted to be like him when I grew up.
Okay. What else you got?
I have a movie that I don't think you have ever watched, and I don't think you will ever want to watch it with me.
All right.
But John Waters' movie, Cry Baby, with Johnny Depp.
No, never seen it. No interest.
Such a great movie. It's so good.
I'll take your word for it. Why give me that look?
Iggy Pop is in it.
So? Oh, so I should watch it just because Iggy Pop is in it? I
No,
don't care about Iggy Pop.
Well, I do.
All right. Well, that's great. That's why it's one of your favorite 90s movies.
Indeed, it is. I love Cry Baby. It's so good.
All right.
And there's a lot of good songs in that movie, too. But I will refrain from singing them to you.
Thanks.
This is a movie I think that you'll have on your list, because I know we both love it. Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's on my list. Of course. Yeah, good movie. Fantastic. Well, I should say fantastic movie. Scorsese. You got Ray Liotta.
Joe Pesci.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very, very, very good movie.
Another movie I think you'll have on your list. Total Recall.
Yeah. Get your ass to Mars.
Yes.
get your ass to Mars. Yeah.
I remember when I watched that movie, I just remember when he got to Mars, seeing like all the different alien type creatures that they had, and it was so weird. And when he like dressed up as the lady, and then like the mask comes off, and how weird looking it was, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a good, really good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I know they did a remake of it a couple years back with, was it Colin Farrell that was the? Yeah, I didn't see it. We didn't see it.
No, we didn't.
Total Recall, it's just a movie you don't touch. I don't know why they bothered, and I don't think it did that well either in the box office.
Serves it right.
I don't think it got very good reviews. I could be wrong about that.
Don't remake a movie that was originally awesome.
Right, I agree.
Why mess with a good thing?
You should.
Right?
I agree.
This movie is a family fun movie we enjoy around Christmas time with our kids. Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yes.
Who doesn't enjoy Home Alone? I mean, really.
Another Joe Pesci movie.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a trend of certain actors throughout this decade.
Yeah.
I feel like Joe Pesci, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Nicolas Cage. I'm trying to think who else.
Well, why don't we talk about the trend in actors after we're done going through all of their movies?
True. All right, you definitely have this one, Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Now, a lot of people I've heard said that they didn't like the last one.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Doesn't mean it's correct. Doesn't mean it's good, a good opinion, but everybody's entitled to it. I loved it. I loved Back to the Future 3.
I think it was really fun.
I think it's possibly because the way that they did the movies, where you had, the first one he goes back to the 50s and then comes back, and then the second one he's going into the future, and you have all the cool visuals with the hovercraft, or hovercraft, the hoverboard, and all that kind of stuff. So going back to
the Wild West,
yes. And you didn't really see as much of the technology and a lot of the visual effects as you had in the other two movies. I think maybe that could be why. But I thought, as overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and yeah, it was great. I enjoyed Back to the Future 3. I don't know if it was my favorite of the three, but I enjoyed it. I think, haven't we talked about ranking them in order?
Yeah, we have before, but
yeah. Well, I enjoyed Back to the Future 3, so yes, that was on my list.
This was a movie I've watched with the kids before, The Witches with Angelica Houston.
Okay, it's not on my list, but I think
Did you watch it with us when we watched it with the kids?
I don't think I watched it with you, no.
It takes place in England, and there's this little boy who's with his grandma, and they go to some hotel, and there's a witches convention.
No, never seen it. Or I take that back. I probably saw it, think back. Is it like a Roald Dahl book? Is that based on a Roald Dahl book?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just remember I saw the movie when I was a kid, and I thought it was great.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to say that I don't remember it, so we'll say no, I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The next movie, I love this movie, but it also makes me so sad, is Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I love that movie. Really great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that in the movie theater when it came out. But yes, you're right. It's got kind of a sad ending.
It's kind of depressing.
But really good.
Yes.
Really enjoyed that movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Burton. Following up his 1989 Batman, a blockbuster with Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp.
And Winona
with
Ryder.
scissors for hands. Crazy.
Oh, what's his name? He was House Trap in Sight. Michael.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes, Anthony Michael Hall. Thank you. He's in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah. What else you got?
Misery.
Misery. Yeah, that is on my list. Very good movie. Really great book too.
That movie, when I watched it as a kid, I just remember like Annie, the main character.
Kathy Bates.
Yes, thank you, Kathy Bates. It's like, I watched it and I feel kind of bad for her. I'm like, yeah, she's kind of crazy.
She's kind of crazy? Yeah, she's kind of crazy.
She's kind of crazy.
Well, she's kind of crazy.
I don't know. It was like, I kind of liked her though.
Well, you're all kinds of crazy yourself, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the scene. What is it called? Hobbling, where she takes the sledgehammer to his feet.
Brutal. Right to his ankles, yeah. Oh, that's rough.
I love that scene, though.
Oh, you would. You would.
I guess, yeah. It was enjoyable.
Okay. What else you got on here?
Another one of our family favorites, Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah, Kindergarten Cop.
This movie
awesome.
is so good. When I worked in veterinary medicine, we often dealt with animals that would come in because we worked at a specialty hospital where, we're worried. We do MRIs to see if it's a tumor. So anytime it wasn't a tumor, I'd be like, it's not a tumor. And
it's not a tumor.
I would do my horrible Schwarzenegger
tumor
impression. It was terrible, but to me, it made me laugh because it's a great movie.
Yeah, awesome movie. Really, really funny. I saw that in the theater. I've got to say, like 3 or 4 times. That was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. And myself, my brother, and we had a couple of girls that were our next door neighbors that we were really, really close friends with, because they were right around our age, my brother and I's age, and we used to get dropped off to the movies with them, and we'd watch Kindergarten Cop. Like I said, I think we saw it 3 or 4 times. Just loved that movie so much. So good.
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Yeah. They
From
do.
the mouth of babes.
It's true. They do.
No, that movie was great. It was a lot of fun.
It's funny, speaking of my brother and this movie, he sent me a text message earlier this week or the week prior, and whenever you're hearing this, probably a month ago at this point now, but tell me that this movie was a victim of the recent cancel culture for some reasons. I said, for what? I don't get it. Because I guess it's something, and I could be wrong because I looked at his text message and I'm like, are you kidding me? But something having to do with the way that children were, something having to do with police and children or something. I don't even know, but it was some ridiculous.
Because you had a police officer who made a good impression on children?
I don't know what the reasoning was, but there was some reason, there was some rationale that somebody came up with, and they decided to put this on the cancel culture list.
We need to cancel culture.
I agree. Cancel the cancel culture.
If you don't like it, then move on.
The movie came out 30 years ago now at this point. So, yeah, anyway.
I heard they're remaking it, too.
With who? Who's going to be in it?
I don't know. I don't even want to find out because it's going to upset me.
Yeah, I don't...
I don't want to cancel it. I just don't make myself a part of it.
Yeah, no, leave that one alone. That's right up there with Total Recall.
Great movies. Why remake it? I don't understand. Next movie. This is a really fun movie. I think a lot of people my age enjoyed it as a kid. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, on my list. I saw that in the movie theater too when I was a kid. And we just recently watched it. Yeah. With the kids. Yeah, within the last year, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah. And they enjoyed it. I mean, it's violent because they're Ninja Turtles, so they're fighting and whatever. So if you're against violence, you don't want your kids watching violent movies. It's PG, but there's a lot of hitting and punching, kicking, obviously that kind of thing. So if you don't want your kids seeing that kind of thing, and you have kids and you're listening, you probably don't want to watch it with them if they're prone to mimicking the type of stuff that they see on TV. Which ours have been, so. You gotta wait till a certain point. I'm gonna say though, fortunately, not as much as my brother and I used to be when we were younger. Really? Now, by the time this movie came out, I was probably 12 or 13 years old, something like that, right around there. And I wasn't mimicking that kind of stuff at that age because I'm getting a little bit old for that. But as younger, like when I was our kids' age, 3, 6, I was mimicking everything. I was a big wrestling fan. My brother and I used to just copy everything we saw in wrestling. So. Yeah. Fortunately, our kids are not as bad as I was, but anyhow, let's move on. What else you got for 1990? Another awesome sequel, Die Hard 2. Yeah, Die Hard 2 was awesome. At the airport. Fantastic during Christmas. Movie. Great Christmas movie. Yes. Yes, it is a wonderful holiday film. All right. For the whole family to enjoy. Another movie, I love this movie, and I actually kind of related to it, arachnophobia. I used to be so afraid of spiders until I finally got to the point where I just started looking at them and then really respecting them and loving them, and now I always try to save them. But I love that movie. I saw this in the movie theater too. I wonder how many people would I wonder how many people would get creeped out always checking their shower after watching that movie. making sure there's no spiders in the bathroom.
Oh, it's this movie did for spiders what Jaws did for the sharks in the ocean.
And the popcorn bowl.
Oh,
just recently I was having a bowl of popcorn and arachnophobia popped in my head, and it was like a metal bowl, not a glass one, and I'm just like...
I had forgotten all about that. Wow.
And I just reminded you.
Thank you so much.
And everyone else. So next time you have a big bowl of popcorn, ready to watch your favorite show, just think spiders.
Thanks for that. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Keep going. Keep us going.
But remember, if you find a spider, pick it up and bring it outside. Don't hurt it. It's a living creature.
What else you got on your list?
Problem Child with John Ritter.
Yes.
Have you ever watched it?
Problem Child?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and I love the sequels, too.
Yeah, the sequels were not as good as the original, but they were all right.
Looking back, like, with our kids in the movie, I was like, I wouldn't let our kids watch this, our younger ones watch this movie. I mean, I guess I was like 9 or 10 when it came out, but even our oldest for a while was like, I don't know if I want to let him watch this movie.
Yeah, you don't want to give them any ideas.
Right. Don't want to, set them on ideas for trouble. The next movie, I hadn't watched in a really, really, really long time. And then we watched it together. And I was like, oh yeah, Nightbreed.
Great movie. I saw it for the first time with you. I'd never seen it before. And I really enjoyed it. Clyde Barker. Great movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
That's a movie that, it's so weird. It's so awesome. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really weird. But it's still a good story.
All right. Great.
Monsters and...
What else you got?
I don't know if you like this movie or not, but Ski Patrol.
I have it on my list.
Really?
I saw this in the movie theater too.
I love this movie.
Yeah, it was a funny movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. You just watched it
I watched
recently.
it kind of recently again.
But
yes.
I didn't. Apologies for anybody listening right now, but I just bashed into my microphone, made a really loud noise. I apologize.
Excellent.
I saw that in the theater and I thought it was hilarious, but I don't think I've seen it since then. I just remember really, really enjoying it and really laughing a lot. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those movies that it doesn't really have. Did it have anybody like a main, like a big Hollywood marquee
It
star?
had a lot. I wouldn't say like huge Hollywood marquee, but it had T.K. Carter, Paul Feig was in it, and he did a lot of stuff. I think for The Office. I think he's like he does a lot of producing.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
but he was in it. Other people I can't think of, and then the old guy, whose name I can't think of right now.
Wow, thank you so much for that information.
Yes.
That's very great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Watch the movie, and you'll know what I'm talking
Right.
about. Oh yeah, that old guy.
The old guy.
Now, the last movie I have for 1990, I love this movie. And I actually thought about it with last week's episode when we were kind of talking about everything, just like that. You get up, you go to work, every day is the same. What do you need to do? You need to break away from it. You need to break free and go do your own thing. Joe versus the volcano.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
How do we love each other? I thought we watched it together.
Did we? We did?
I thought we did.
Well, it's not on my list, so it wasn't very memorable. If we did watch it together, it didn't make that much of an impression on me. Did we watch it together? Was I asleep? Did
You
I
do
fall
fall asleep to a lot of movies we watch, so maybe that was it.
I don't remember this
I
movie
remember
at all.
watching it. Maybe you weren't there. I thought you were. Maybe you fell asleep. But yeah, Tom Hanks is this guy Joe, and he's a hypochondriac. And he works in this dingy building and has like the fluorescent lights. And he goes to the doctors, and he's told he has some weird diagnosis where he's going to be dying soon. So this other guy approaches him saying, hey, I'll give you the trip of a lifetime. I'll give you money. You get to go to an island. All you have to do is throw yourself into a volcano. You're going to die anyway, so take all this money, live the life of luxury, and you'll be good. And he runs into the guy's daughters who sets it up, and funness ensues. I mean, it's all good things that happen.
Wow.
Meg Ryan is in it too.
Great. No recollection of this movie at all. So if I watched it with you, then it made less than 0 of an impression on me. Is that all you have for 1990?
That's all I got.
I've got a ton that you didn't
Oh
mention.
boy.
A ton.
Let's go.
1990. Here we go. All right. Pretty Woman. How's this not on your list?
Because
and you're a woman.
Because it wasn't a favorite of mine. That's why. It's a good movie, but I kind of look at it like, is it really like a favorite of mine? No. Sorry, it's not.
That's fine.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's fine. Fair enough. Hard to Kill. Steven Seagal.
You love that movie.
Movie's awesome.
You love that movie.
So awesome. The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
That's a good movie. That's a really good movie.
Okay.
Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty and Madonna.
It's a great movie, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Again, I put out there's a lot of movies I didn't add because they weren't my favorites.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
I really like that movie, but I don't know if I can say it's a favorite.
Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen and Michael Biehn.
You love that movie.
I do. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
That's why it's on my list. Gosh. Dark Man with Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
The movie's awesome.
Like
And
back when it came out.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. I think I saw that with my dad.
Really?
I remember seeing that in the movie theater with my dad because it was rated. I'm pretty sure it was rated R, but he took me to see it, which was cool. And I remember either before or after the movie, we went to Burger King. Don't know why I remember that, but I have that memory.
All right.
Yeah, it's random. Death Warrant with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Nope.
How are we married? That's a joke. I'm mocking you and your statement.
You're a dick,
Well,
but I still love you.
well, that's debatable. I Come in
What?
Peace.
Wait, what's debatable? That I still love you or that you're a dick?
I'll leave that for you to decide. I Come in Peace. Dolph Lundgren. You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's a great movie. I come in peace. And he shoots him and like blows him up. And you go in pieces. Such a good movie.
I probably liked it.
You probably would. Marked for Death, another Steven Seagal movie.
You're gonna have all Steven Seagal movies.
Not
on your
all.
list.
No, not all. He's done a bunch of movies that I haven't even ever seen. These are the ones that I've seen that I really enjoyed. This was
Does
like,
he do clotheslines in every movie?
pretty
that you listed?
much. Pretty much. That's like his trademark spot that he does in every movie. Clotheslines a guy.
Because they're fun.
He does what it's called Aikido, right? And he'll he does like his crazy like blocks, punches and kicks and whatever else, and then always ends it with a bam, big clothesline. Awesome, good stuff.
What else do you have?
Rocky V.
I don't like the Rocky movies that much.
That's just unacceptable. You need to rethink that comment and your stance on that. It. The TV movie, It.
I missed it.
You missed It.
And that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really
I
surprised
cannot
you missed
believe
it.
I missed it.
Yeah, you missed It.
I missed it.
You missed it.
What is it?
It's It. And I think Epic came out in 1992.
Did it?
By Faith No More,
Oh.
yeah. Predator 2. Did you not like Predator 2?
I liked Predator 2, but to say it's one of my favorites, it was tough. I was going to put it on there, and I'm like, I already have a bunch, and is it really a favorite? And I had to say, no.
The Godfather Part 3.
I'm not big into The Godfather.
All right. I think that'll close out 1990 for us.
Okay.
And I'm sure we probably missed some movies that came out then, but again, these are tippity top favorites. Tippity top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1991. Would you like to begin?
I only have a handful in 1991.
Which is amazing to me. 1991 was a good year for movies.
Okay, well.
Go ahead.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yes, that's on my list.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so good. And they're coming out with the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes out at the end of August.
Okay. Are people even allowed to go see it?
I don't know.
Or is it going to be one of those like direct to...
I think it was this morning. It's like in theaters and on demand. So I'm pretty sure it'll be available on demand.
Great.
The Addams Family.
Yep, it's on my list too.
With Angelica Houston again. So fun. I don't know if you've seen this movie or if you'd even like it, but I loved this movie, and my mom loves it too. Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, Martin Short, Kimberly Williams.
Never seen it.
Diane Keaton.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just really a sweet, fun movie.
All right.
Hot Shots.
Yep, got that one on my list too.
Never watched Top Gun until what, a year ago?
Yeah, like a year ago, finally got to watch it.
Didn't need to get the references. I didn't care. That movie, love that movie.
Now just think if we go back and watch it now, having watched Top Gun.
Oh, it totally makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another movie we watched recently, What About Bob?
Yeah,
with Bill Murray.
It's on my list too.
Richard Dreyfuss, yes.
Yeah, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny movie.
This is a movie we quote all the time. Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead. Dishes are done, man.
Everybody must quote that movie.
So that and I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Yeah.
Quote that all the time. And if I'm working somewhere, I'll test people and I'll be like, I'm right on top of that, Rose. And I see what they say. And if they just look at me and have no idea, I'm like, yeah, you're not as cool as I thought you were.
That's your test for people?
Yes.
All right.
And the last one I have, and you haven't watched it yet, but I'm trying to get you to watch it with me. And this is actually, I feel, a very controversial movie. A lot of people don't like it and they think it's awful. But I don't care. I'm true to myself and I like it. Nothing But Trouble. Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy.
Sounds like a who's who.
Yeah.
Of late 80s, early 90s.
John Candy plays both a cop and the cop's sister. Dan Aykroyd's a judge.
Great. Wonderful.
It's really weird. It's fun. I like the weird stuff.
All right. You ready for mine?
I am ready.
How do you not have Terminator 2 Judgment Day on your list?
I had it in 1992. Did I have the wrong year?
It says here, wait a minute. Pretty sure it came out in 1990. Okay, here we go. On the fly, we're going to be doing some research here.
I had 92. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's 1991.
Okay, then I have
Terminator 2 Judgment Day is 1991. I was right.
I had it under 1992.
How did you miss
Maybe
that?
I put it in the wrong thing.
Unacceptable. Just unacceptable.
I suck. But I do have it on my list. It was a misfile.
Okay. Hook. With Robin Williams,
It's
Julia
a
Roberts.
great movie, but it's not a favorite.
Oh, that was one of my favorites.
Really?
Especially growing up. Yeah, I loved that movie. Great movie. The Silence of the Lambs. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's okay.
City Slickers.
I knew you were going to have that on your list. I really like that movie, but it's not my favorite.
Oh,
it's
man.
really fun.
Great movie. Really good movie. JFK. Oliver Stone's JFK with Kevin Costner.
No.
That is a movie that really got me into conspiracies. Like, really got me into conspiracies, especially the JFK assassination conspiracy. Wow. Have you seen it?
No.
No?
Don't
Wow.
care to.
Fair enough. Good movie. Very good movie. Cape Fear, the remake with Robert De Niro.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's a favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I really liked it.
Mm-mm.
Counselor. Counselor. Yeah, I love that movie. Great movie. Let's see. Out for Justice, another Seagal movie. The movie was awesome. It's the one where he wears the beret. His name's Gino. Gino Felino, I think is his name in the movie. Oh, it's awesome. He's like walks around with a beret on the whole time. Awesome movie. So good. I think he's either a cop or special forces or something. And I don't even really remember the plot, but I just remember it being awesome.
All right, what else do you have?
The Rocketeer.
No.
Disney movie.
Nope.
Really good movie.
Didn't like it.
Really fun. The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
Yeah, I love the Naked Gun movies. I don't know if 2.5 is my favorite.
Come on. Unreal. Love that movie. Problem Child 2.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't put it on, but I do love the Problem Child movies. So you're right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox. That was a good movie. It was funny. I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't seen it in years. I might watch it now and be like, but I'm going by if I liked it or not when I saw it. I really enjoyed it when I saw it. Very good movie. Point Break. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
Again, I like that movie. It's a great movie. I don't know if I could say it's one of my favorites.
Double Impact. Another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he plays himself, where he plays twins. So awesome. So good. So good. I'm going to make you watch that movie. It's so good. Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee. I want to say this was Brandon Lee's first movie role or starring role in a movie. Really, really good movie. Just your typical action movie, but it's really good. Really enjoyed it. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Not a favorite. I enjoyed it.
Here's a movie that was so... I haven't seen this probably since it came out. I saw it... Well, I probably saw it maybe... Your parents owned a video store. So when movies would come out in the theater, what was it roughly, like 6-7 months before they'd come out on video?
So it felt like a year, but yeah, it would be like over 6 months.
So I
Sometimes
saw
it'd be
this...
close to a year.
Okay. Well, the movie came out in 1991, but I saw it when it first came out on video.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington, so awesome. Ricochet. Have you ever seen it? Movie was awesome.
So what's it about?
It's about a cop. I think he gets framed for murder, if I remember the plot correctly, and it just kind of goes through and tries to prove his innocence kind of thing. I'm pretty sure that's the plot. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember being like, and when it was done, I was like, wow, that was awesome. It was so good.
Okay.
So when I was looking through the list of movies that came out in 91, and I saw it, oh yeah, that movie was awesome.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I can't really give you too much of a plot because it's been so long. I just remember really liking it. Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. No? What about The People Under the Stairs?
How did I miss that movie?
That movie was
love
really
that
good.
movie.
I saw that in the movie theater too.
Love that movie.
I saw Suburban Commando in the movie theater. You're going to probably make fun of me for this. Some of our listeners might make fun of me for this next one, but I don't care. I really like this movie a lot. My Girl.
I really like that movie.
One of my
It was
favorites.
so sad.
It was really sad, but I thought it was really well done. And I remember after a while, I haven't seen it probably since it came out way back when. But I remember really, really enjoying it.
Oh my gosh, I don't like movies that make me like depressed and want to cry all the time. That movie is so freaking sad, especially at the end with Thomas J. So sad.
What are you gonna do? It's a movie.
I'm not gonna watch it because I don't want to cry.
And one of my favorite movies, which we spoke about recently,
What?
The Last Boy Scout.
You love
I
that
love
movie.
that movie. I don't care.
I do
love
not.
it. I love that movie. It's so good.
I liked it, but I wouldn't go past that point.
So good.
Do you have anything else for 1991?
I do. I have one more.
Okay.
And it wasn't like a favorite. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There's a couple more. It wasn't a favorite, but I really enjoyed it. Drop Dead Fred, which is my younger sister's, one of her favorite movies as a kid growing up. She used to watch that movie all the time. Regarding Henry with Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that movie. I haven't, again, another one I haven't seen since shortly after it came out, but I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. I think he plays an attorney or something like that, and he suffers a head injury, suffers amnesia and can't remember everything. But he's like, before he gets injured, he's like a real jerk. You know, he has no time for his family or anything like that. He's just a real jerk, and the head injury caused him to, again, he gets amnesia, and he kind of causes him to relearn everything, and he becomes like a really good guy at the end, and gets real close with his family and friends and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Great movie. And let's see, is that it? Let me just really quickly scan here. I think that is everything for 1991.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into 1992, or do you want me to lead?
You know what? Let's just keep it going the way we have. So why don't you go ahead and back to 1992?
This is a movie. I love this movie. I have a sweatshirt for it. It's a Peter Jackson movie. It's called Dead Alive.
Never seen it.
Okay, we need to watch this movie. There's like this little rat monkey, and it gets like picked up, and it's at it goes to a zoo in New Zealand, and this dude and his overbearing mother go to the zoo, and she gets bit, and she turns into this zombie-like creature, and he's trying to take care of her, and he has a crush on this girl from the store, and it's like a love story and a zombie story, and it's ridiculously funny. It's super gross. There's so many cringy, great moments. And one of the best parts is they're at a funeral, and the priest is there. And later on in another scene, there's all these zombies because they're infecting each other. And he goes, "I kick ass for the Lord." It's great. And that's what I have on my sweatshirt. So good.
Okay. Nope.
I highly recommend this movie to everybody. Yes, I love this movie. Another fabulous film, Reservoir Dogs.
That is on my list.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that movie. Quentin Tarantino.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Pink, Mr. White, was there Mr. Orange too? Jeez, I really enjoyed it, but now I can't really.
Well, I love the scene when they're at the restaurant and they talk about tipping.
Yeah.
Because that's such a great debate. Because when you tip somebody, it should be not because they did their job, but because they did a really good job. And that's how we are. If you do a great job, we're going to tip you very well. But if you suck, no. What incentive? Why should we reward you for poor service?
Agreed.
Yeah. But no.
That's kind of like common sense, so I think most people feel that way.
But they have a great point. It comes down to they should be getting paid more money. They shouldn't have to survive off their tips. But then it's if they're good, then they'll do fine. So, yeah. All right, The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Such a fun movie.
Emilio Estevez.
Yes, I love it. Psych reference.
Yes, great movie. Mighty Ducks, not Psych. Well, Psych's a great show.
Yes.
Great.
Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis.
It was okay. It's not on my list, but that was okay.
I loved that movie.
All right.
When I was a kid and that came out, I absolutely loved that movie. Alien 3.
That's on my list.
Nice.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
My cousin Vinny. My cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vizzy.
Vizzy.
Yes, My Cousin Vinny. That movie's awesome. Great movie.
I'm just the quotes going through my head as I'm saying it. The
Joe
two
Pesci,
youths.
another Joe Pesci movie. So here he is. Maybe
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now this movie creeped me the fuck out when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, Candyman.
Yes.
That movie was serious.
That is on my list.
Oh yeah.
That is on my list, and it did the same to me when I was younger too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was probably trying to think now. I'm horrible with math. I was probably 11 or 12 at the time, right?
No,
No? Was I older?
Yeah.
Okay, I was a little older than that. But it creeped me out too. Yeah, creepy movie.
Very, very.
I don't know how it is now, but at the time.
We should watch it again. I want to watch it again.
Sure.
I think they remade it, or they are remaking it. But
They had a bunch of sequels, I think, didn't they?
yeah, they did.
They did at least 2 or 3 sequels, I thought.
Sometimes it's like just the originals to the best.
Agreed.
I feel like for this one.
Yeah, good movie.
Now, this is a movie that I absolutely love, and they made a series of it, for TV, and I didn't watch it at first because I love the movie so much, and they didn't have the main actress star in the series, so I felt like that was wrong. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's on my list too. Yeah, great movie. Very good movie.
And I think I might have mentioned before a previous episode, but I didn't start watching the TV show until I was like living in Providence, and there was no channels. We didn't have cable,
Right, yeah.
and that just happened to come up, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, the show is awesome. But it all started because of this movie. I love this movie. So great.
Very good movie.
Uh-huh.
Agreed.
Next one, Wayne's World 2.
Wayne's World 2?
Yeah. Did I have the wrong year?
Yeah, you get the wrong year. Wayne's World came out in 1992.
Oh, why did I put 2?
That's a
Probably
great
because I was
question.
thinking 1992.
Yeah, Wayne's World came out in 1992.
Wayne's World. Okay,
Yes.
Wayne's World.
That was on
Yes.
my list too, yeah. Good movie. Funny.
Sister Act.
I saw it. It was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites. I didn't put it on my list.
I
But,
thought it was funny.
yeah, it was funny.
And there's lots of singing. Here's another like super.
You love movies with singing.
Dude,
So,
I love
yeah, see, I'm not a big musical guy.
I don't really like musicals though. That's the thing.
Fair enough.
I just like when people sing.
Okay.
Here's one of my super favorites: Army of Darkness.
Yes, that is on my list. Absolutely.
I love Ash.
Great
Yes.
movie.
Just give me some sugar, baby.
But hold
Fair
on a
to the
second. I
king.
think you got the wrong year on that one too.
Do I?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
What
Yeah.
the hell is wrong
wait a
with
second.
me?
I don't know. What is wrong with you?
Well, that's a whole
What's
episode
that?
in itself.
Where do we begin? Yeah, I want to say Army of Darkness was 93 or 94. It was. Why don't you look this one up? And I'm just going to scan my list here.
Because-
Yeah, it's 1993. 1993.
No, I have 1992.
That's insane. Then my information was wrong. Well, I apologize.
Well, what happens?
IMDb
This has
says
happened.
1992.
Yeah, sometimes movies will be made one year, but then released the next. So is it something like that possibly?
It could be. It could very well be. So I'll give you.
Who
a break on that
knows?
one. I'll
Okay,
give you-
but
I'll
yes,
tell you some
Army
stuff.
of Darkness.
Yeah, great movie.
Part of my favorite movies. Lethal Weapon 3.
Of course.
Love
Of
it.
course, that's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Check that one off here.
Now the next movie I believe was one of Jennifer Aniston's first movies. Leprechaun.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yep, got that on my list too.
The next movie was.
But hold on a second.
Oh, what?
Is Leprechaun 1992? I don't think so.
Is this what we're gonna do the
that's
whole
a
episode?
1993. What's on my 1993 list?
Okay, it's on your 1993
Right.
list.
What?
Okay, it's
Yeah,
1993,
so
so I'm wrong.
Hey, you're jumping all over the place here. We should have just done favorite 90s movies. Just right off the list.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Next one.
1982.
From Stephen King,
Yes.
Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, I got that on here too. Yeah, I love that movie. That was a great movie. Really, really good movie.
Mhm.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. The next movie is a total family favorite, meaning like growing up,
Mm-hmm.
my family, we loved this movie.
All right.
Captain Ron, with Kurt Russell, Martin Short. Kurt Russell is Captain Ron, and this Martin Short and his family inherit a boat, and they're sailing it to go sell it.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen Captain Ron.
I know we did a family movie with it.
Did we? It might have been one of those where it was on and I wasn't paying attention. I don't have any recollection of it. No memory of Captain Ron.
Oh, you do that a lot.
Oh, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what do you have for 92?
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we watched that
We
recently.
did.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Basic Instinct.
I don't really care for that movie.
Only saw it way back when, and of course, only watched it for the famous part where Sharon Stone does the old
Uncrossing of the legs.
Uncrossing of the legs, and she's wearing no panties. Listen, as a young teenage male, that was a milestone moment watching that movie. So it has a place in my heart. The movie itself probably stinks. I have again.
That
I haven't really
particular
watched it
scene
since.
has a special place in his heart
Well.
and his pants.
Wow. Okay. So, Batman Returns. How's that not on your list? You didn't like Batman Returns? Danny DeVito as the
I
Penguin.
did, but
Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
I feel like maybe the first one. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
No, I probably should have had it on there.
Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman playing Dracula.
It was okay.
Okay. Just okay.
Yeah.
Universal Soldier, Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren teaming up.
No, thank you.
Wow. That was a great movie. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
With Rebecca De Mornay.
Yes.
That movie was fucked up.
It was, but it was really good. Again, haven't
It
seen it.
was really good.
I haven't
I
seen
wouldn't
it
say
since-
it's a favorite, though.
I haven't seen it since probably when it first came out on video. But I remember when it was done, I was like, whoa, that movie was crazy. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
I'm just thinking, like, I forget the main character's name. Is it, like,
I don't know.
Annabelle's?
Annabelle Shiora. The
Some-
actress,
yeah.
you mean? Yeah.
If I was her character and this bitch came up in my home starting shit, I'd fucking kill the bitch too. Just saying.
Fair enough. Stop! Or my mom will shoot.
Sylvester Stallone.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yes!
And Estelle Getty.
Yes!
The movie was hilarious. I loved that movie. I thought it was great.
That is a funny movie.
The Lawnmower Man with Jet Fahey. You ever seen that movie?
Yes, that was a really good movie.
I enjoyed it. That made my
I
list.
just, again, it's one of those, like, I went back and forth and, like, but is it really a favorite? I'll have to say no.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Encino Man.
I went back and forth, and I'm like, I love Pauly Shore movies. I have
Right.
a lot of Pauly Shore movies, but
Mhm.
I didn't put Encino Man on, and I don't know why. Because I do love that movie.
Fair enough. This one I know you've probably never even seen it. Patriot Games with Harrison Ford.
I've seen Patriot
Have you?
Games. Yeah,
Did you like it?
I liked it,
All
but
right.
that's as far as I'll go.
Okay. I enjoyed it. Great movie. Haven't seen it in
Just
a long
assume
time.
I didn't see
Haven't
the
seen it in a
movie.
long time. Well, I've just... Okay.
Okay.
I apologize for assuming you have not seen that movie. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
No.
It wasn't as good as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I enjoyed it. I saw that in the movie theater, too. As a high schooler. I think, yeah, 92. That would, yeah, I was, I think
You're in
I was a
high school.
freshman in high school in 1992. Yeah.
And you saw that movie.
I didn't say it was cool. Just said I saw it. Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. I think that one. I think that may have won the Academy Award that year. I could be wrong on that, but that movie was awesome. So good. Another Western. Eastwood returning to doing a Western,
Mm-hmm.
and wow, that was a great movie. Really good movie. We'll have to watch that together. That's one I didn't see that in the theater. My dad rented it, and I watched it with him, and it was just like at the end, I was like, "Whoa, that was really good." But I remember it, and I haven't seen it since then. But I remember it being kind of slow moving, I guess, for what I was used to at the time
Yeah.
as a youngster. Now I probably love it even more. But I remember when it was done, just being like, "Whoa, that was a good movie." So that's one we definitely have to check out at some point together.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Sure.
And I actually would really like to watch it again sometime. Single White Female. Bridget Fonda.
Yes.
Steven Weber.
Good movie, not one of my
How are your favorites? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Have you ever seen Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee? This was his first solo starring role. I mentioned how he did the Showdown in Little Tokyo
Mhm.
with Dolph Lundgren earlier. That was like a co-starring kind of role. He was like one of the main characters, but he was the co-star. Dolph Lundgren was the marquee guy. And Rapid Fire was like his first solo starring role in an action movie. It was awesome. Really, really good.
What else?
School Ties with Brendan Fraser.
I love that movie,
I
but
love that
it's
movie.
one of those movies, like, it just, like, had so much suckiness, like, with what happens in it, and made me sad.
Right. Well, I mean, but I mean, that's part of the story. And with the way, I don't know. I love the movie. I thought it was
I
really
did too.
good. Really
Love
good.
that movie.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
You love that movie.
I do love that movie.
I saw,
Fantastic
I think, was
movie.
it like the last 15 minutes? And I'm
Such
like,
a good movie.
what the hell just
Yeah, I mean, if
happened?
you watch it in the last 15 minutes, that's all you see. You have no idea what's going on. But
Well, because
it's
you
not,
were watching, and then I came into the room.
Oh, it's such a good movie. That's one you have to watch, and I think you'd like it. I don't know if you'd love it like I do, but I think you'd really enjoy it. It's just it's one of those movies that it's like kind of all dialogue, and just the acting is just fantastic. Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, it's such a well acted movie. It's really really good, really good movie. Highly recommend it. If you've never seen it, check it out. We're going to go back to Steven Seagal in Under Siege, Casey Ryback, the chef in the submarine.
You love yourself.
So awesome.
Seagal.
So good. Dr. Giggles. Have you ever seen Dr. Giggles?
Oh, I've seen Dr. Giggles. Let me tell you a little story about Dr.
We have a
Giggles.
story. Wow, let's hear this.
I'm sure my parents are going to love this, but they have a video store, and I was waiting for like,
In case you didn't know,
the reaction.
anybody that's listened to us for a
So
while.
they gave promo stuff. Like a lot of times when movies came out, they gave like the cardboard cutouts, and they
Sure.
give promotional materials to video stores to promote the movie. Well, one of the things that they did, along with a cardboard cutout, was an actual like Dr. Giggles surgical like scrub suit, like the top and everything, and a mask.
Okay.
And so you could like go around and be like Dr. Giggles. So my brother wanted to fuck with me, and he decided he was going to dress up as Dr. Giggles. And he chased me around the house with an X-Acto knife,
What?
doing the maniacal laughing from the movie. Yes.
All right.
And it wasn't even like it was because I was scared Dr. Giggles was going to get me. It's like, oh my god, what the hell was he chasing me around?
My brother was going to get me. Not Dr. Giggles.
My brother thought it was the funniest thing, and I'm just like,
All right. Okay.
That's my memory associated with that movie.
Terrific.
It was a fun movie.
It was fun.
It was
I
fun.
enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. That's one that I saw many years after it came out. It was still in the 90s. I remember still being a teenager when I saw it, but it wasn't like right when it came out. I remember it had been a while before I actually saw it. And I just remember the guy that played Dr. Giggles was the main bad guy in Darkman, and I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember the actor's
I
name,
can't remember his name.
but he was in Darkman, and he was like the main villain in that movie. So when he was Dr. Giggles, I was like, oh, I gotta see it because that guy was awesome. And
It's that guy from that movie.
It's that guy. Yeah, exactly. The things that you rationalize when you're young.
Yeah.
My last movie for '92. Really, really like this movie a lot. I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, I recommend we watch it because it's really good. And it could actually be a family movie, I think. Forever Young.
Is that with Mel Gibson?
Yes. And
I don't
Elijah Wood.
recall it.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Is
Really
that the
enjoyed it.
one where Elijah Wood like kind of spies up on his house, and isn't like his face burned or something? Or am I thinking of a different movie?
That's a different movie.
Okay, that's a different movie.
What movie? Wait, what is that movie? I can't remember the name of it now. I'd have to IMDb it to find out, but I know what movie you're talking
Okay.
about. It's not that movie. This is one where he's a fighter pilot,
Oh.
and geez, now I'm talking about how I really love the movie. Now I can't remember exactly how the plot goes, but I can't remember if he gets frozen or something happens, and he thaws out essentially, and he starts to. He's looking for the love of his life because he doesn't get to see her because he becomes frozen in whatever, however that happened. And he finally finds the love of his life, but she's really old, obviously because time has passed, and he's still young. But when he catches up to her and meets up with her, and thinking about it now, it kind of, the science of it doesn't really make any sense, but he's, like, when he meets up with her, he starts to rapidly age. And he catches up to her in age, so they're old together, and that's kind of like how the movie ends. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved that movie. I thought it was really good. I got to tell you, Mel Gibson, probably one of my favorite actors.
Love Mel Gibson.
He's
him.
awesome.
Yeah.
Everything he's in, I love Mel Gibson. I haven't seen everything he's in, but anything that I have seen with Mel Gibson, I thoroughly enjoy it. And now it's really going to bother me because I forgot about that movie that you're talking about where he's got the disfigured face.
Yeah,
I think he's a teacher in that movie, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe. But I just remember, like, he ends up helping. I thought it was Elijah Wood, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's going to bother me. We'll have to check that out.
But it was funny because when you were talking about the movie, it just made me think we watched Parks and Rec yesterday.
Yeah.
And Tom Haverford where he's singing the Forever Young.
Yes.
Yes, and just him singing it popped in my head, which is why if you're watching, I was smirking.
Tremendous. So I think what do we get? That's it for 92?
That's 92.
Right? So we're coming up on an hour.
Yes.
And I think I like when we keep our shows. We don't like to have a time limit, but I think that this is a good place to maybe kind of say cut, and we'll cut.
So we'll
for
continue
now,
at 1993.
We'll pick up next week with 1993 because I like where we kind of talk about the movies and we give a little brief memory of the movie and stuff. So.
And we don't want to rush.
Yeah, I don't want to rush it just to fit them all in. So I think this is a good place to kind of cut for now, and we'll come back and continue. We'll pick up with 1993. And there's a lot of good ones in 93. There's a lot of good movies still left in the 90s.
And it's funny because I was like, there's not as many good. So when I was compiling my list, I thought back of what we said last time with the 80s movies.
Yeah.
The 80s were so great. There's not as many movies that were as great as the ones from the 80s. I was wrong. I am eating my words.
Yeah, it's funny you say because I was kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, all right, we're going to do the 90s movies. There's probably not as many good. And then I'm going through year by year. I'm like, oh, yeah, that movie. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, I had the same exact reaction. So we'll pick up at 1993 when we come back next week. But in the meantime, let us know what you think so far about what we've talked about. 1990, 91, 92.
If we missed anything, let us know.
If we missed anything, well, it's tough to say because if these are our favorite movies,
that's true. It's more of like
you can't really say
subjective.
you missed it.
Yeah.
It's very subjective. But if you've got a favorite movie that you think
tell us,
we should have included,
or just share your favorite movies.
Or share your favorite movies with us. We'd love to hear it. You can find us on social media. We have a Twitter account
at Homewrecker Pod.
We have.
I bumped the mic. I'm sorry.
You're bumping the microphone.
I'm just so excited.
We have an Instagram,
Homewrecker Podcast.
And we are on Parler as well.
At Homewrecker Pod.
And you can also visit us on our website.
Homewreckerpodcast.com.
And if you haven't already, head on over to iTunes, hit the subscribe button or wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if you don't mind, please leave us a 5-star review. And if you want to take the time and write us a nice review, we'd really, really appreciate it. And again, the 5-star reviews help people to find the show, help people to find the show, and it kind of helps us move up those wonderful iTunes charts. But again, if people do take the time to leave us a review, it's greatly appreciated because anybody that's maybe just kind of scanning through looking for something to listen to, and they see that you've written something nice about us and that you've enjoyed the show, well, they might just give us a chance too. So we definitely appreciate everybody that has taken the time to do that so far. And if you are a listener and you haven't yet, and you don't mind doing so, we really, really appreciate it if you did.
Yes. And please like our videos. YouTube and Brighteon, you can subscribe and then like them. We're trying to push Brighteon a little bit more just because of the free speech platform. Yeah,
and especially with all the censorship that seems to be taking place now on YouTube.
You just never know when they're going to be like, okay, we're done with you.
Yeah, you never know when that algorithm is going to just not like something you said or posted.
Yeah.
So, Brighteon.com for sure. And until next time. Have I missed anything? I got everything right?
I think so.
Yeah, social media, YouTube, Brighteon.
And if you really like us and you want to support us, buy a t-shirt or a tank top.
You can find those on the website.
Yes, you can find us on our website.
So, until next time when we come back and do 1993 and more.
And beyond.
And beyond, yeah.
Well, at least until 1999.
Right. We're going to continue our favorite 90s movies next week. But until then, I am the Golden Greek Alex Arion. I've been joined as always by my beautiful, gorgeous, I love that smile. I really do. I love you. And I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
My beautiful, gorgeous, lovely, amazing trophy wife, Monique.
I'm sorry I called you a dick earlier.
It's all right. I mean, it's okay.
I say it with love.
I can be, I guess, I suppose. Some people may think that I am at times. I've tried to become much better about that, though.
Yeah.
I think anybody that's listened to us for a long time or watched us, there have been times where I kind of been a little, I guess, abrasive maybe, but I think I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I've tried to be a lot better. So I don't know if that's as fun for some listeners, but, and again, remember everybody.
He's Greek. He has a Greek temper.
It's true, but I've gotten better. I
You
really
have.
want to say I've gotten a lot better. So
I still suck at talking, so that hasn't gotten any better.
you're beautiful. Everybody just hears it in your voice if they're listening.
I don't have to be good with words. I'm pretty.
And anybody watching is probably just looking at you anyway, so it's all good. Just stop teasing. Again, my trophy wife, Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker Podcast.